Hi, welcome to another presentation in a series of Raz-Lee security and auditing tips. Today we will discuss the topic of application integrity, tracking iSeries object and source management. Well, what's the need? If you can identify what are the following circumstances, then you may have a need. For example, who changed the accounts payable program? What source lines were updated in the nightly batch? When was the filter changed in the item inventory logical file? Why was the customer file restored to a non-production library? Where is the source for this check batch program? And help, I need to immediately restore the inventory program from last month. These are circumstances that you may be able to identify with either some or all, but they create a need for you to resolve these situations. Tracking objects and source management is an integral part of application control. Well, what are the implications? The lack of a chronological audit trail of object and source management may imply any or all of the following conditions. You cannot completely evaluate your development practices. You cannot confirm the fact that the procedures and policies are intact and in place and are working properly. You cannot confirm the integrity of applications. Well, if you cannot confirm the fact that the applications are exactly running the way they should be because the objects are in place that you expect to be, then definitely the integrity of the applications are volatile. Your business practices or processes may be violated without your knowledge. Data integrity cannot fully be supported. That's right. If your applications cannot be have the level of integrity that you expect, then definitely your data integrity it will work in conjunction with that level. Lack of a vital debugging and tracing facility. The fact that you have a chronological audit trail with details that are vital in terms of being able to understand whether or not the applications have the integrity you expect them to be, voids you of debugging and tracing facility. And finally, all of these implications lead to one thing: questionable return on investment in your project lifecycle. So what's the resolution? Well, an available history of object and source management supports and confirms application integrity, that we know. But it should incorporate the following functionalities in order to provide you with the solution that you're looking for. It should be fully automatic, no manual intervention. It should be clear and easy debugging facility, which simply means that the information that is being stored can easily lead to a debugging situation that leads you very quickly to resolve the issues if there are any issues. You should be able to track the creation, deletion, and updating to native objects on the iSeries, but along with that, system and IFS objects. You should be able to track source maintenance, who, where, what library, what have they done to the source. And in turn, you should be able to compare sources and go back to source and history, and to, in essence, make a comparison as to another source, more specifically the current source, to come to the determination of what was changed and if it's valid. You should have a say restore history, the ability to take a look at the backups. Who did the backup? Where was the backup to? What did they back up? And same for the restore. It should be easy in terms of the ability to restore object and source to previous states, which means that you should be able to go back very quickly to restore a source or an object or multiples of that to a current situation, but pointing towards any maintenance that was done in history. And finally, PTF history. The fact that you were able to keep a log of all your PTFs and in turn what vital information are incorporated in each PTF. Raz-Lee's iSecurity suite can be broken up into 5 sections on auditing, protection, database, evaluation, and management. Today we'll focus on auditing and more specifically on Change Tracker as a solution for the situation of application integrity. Change Tracker provides a facility to confirm the integrity of your applications by automatically, that's right, automatically, without any interventions, tracking object and source maintenance, including, of course, the IFS and system objects and PTFs. Change Tracker workflow overview. You start Change Tracker by executing the start CT command, and in turn what you do to implement it is define what you want to track, which libraries, what object types, what source files. You then can classify events according to your specific environment and projects and who the executor is, whether it's a program or whether it's a user. You can set the method to track, whether it's real-time or whether it's periodic. And then, as a result, you can view the tracking data, whether it's on the display or whether it's through Raz-Lee's comprehensive report generator. And finally, based on what you've seen, you can analyze the changes. Changes are based on groups of attributes related to the object that performed the change and the type, whether it could be related to source, and it's based on classification analysis. Change Tracker. As I mentioned, in order to start Change Tracker, you execute the start CT command, and in turn you will get this main menu which incorporates all the functionalities that will enable you to create a chronological audit trail to prove the integrity of your applications. Change Tracker. Next step is you need to define the tracking definitions. Well, you need to define what to track, which libraries to track, and if you want to save the object or the source that is referred to in the event. You have to define how to track, which method do you want to track, whether it's real-time or whether it's periodic, meaning every X amount of minutes there is a accumulation of events from the previous period that it was tracked, rather than running all the time. This is based on your preference and your need. Classification of events. Again, you can define the environment. It could be a library. It could be a description of a particular product that you have or an application. And if there is any projects within those libraries or applications, and this definitely helps you to identify better the events that Change Tracker will log for you. After you have Change Tracker running and you created your definitions, of course, you can view the tracking data. This is an example of one event, and the event is broken up into the object attributes, which is, of course, the name of the object, the library, and the type of object. The operational details performed on that particular object. In this case, it was a replacement of this object on this date, 00114, by a particular user, and who the executor was. In this case, it was program, and of course the user that logged onto that program. You can see the object information, who the owner is, who created the object, the authority that was used to create the objects, and if it's a program, the modules, how many modules were actually incorporated into that program. And source information, source, member, library, and file that is mapped to that particular program at that particular moment in time that the event occurred. From this detail screen, you're able to get a history of this particular program in another screen that will, in essence, be in chronological order and give you a pretty good perspective as far as when and what was done to this program through its life cycle. If you press F6, you can get the modules that are, again, associated with this particular program and all of the details that are incorporated into those modules. And you can also take an F7 and you get the source history of this object. That's right, the source history, vital information in terms of being able to see the maintenance that was done to the source through the cycle of current changes and previous changes on this object. In turn, you can make comparisons, as I said, but you can also take a look at what was changed, because there are reports and the ability to go into detail to see what was changed. And those comparisons that you can make also are very important in terms of being able to see what was done a month ago or 2 weeks ago in comparison to what the object exists today. And if you so choose, you can bring back a history object and make that particular object and source today's objects and source, replace today's objects and source. Change Tracker also has a reporting facility that is Raz-Lee's report generator. And here we have a sample report that is in HTML, but the report generator can put out formats in PDF, HTML, CSV. It can create the report in an out file. It can throw it out to the screen, or it can print it to a device. This report actually reflects tracking a program maintenance in a production library, a particular production library. So here you can see the list of the programs and their history, their descriptions, and you can also see the operation that was performed on these programs, whether it's a creation, a deletion, a replacement of an object, a renaming, save, restore information, and in turn, source information. The source, location, and member name mapped to that particular object at that moment in time. Tracking object and source management. So what conclusion have we reached with regards to application integrity? Well, Change Tracker provides object and source auditing with the following benefits. Easy implementation. Easy implementation meaning no procedural changes in your organization. It's fully automatic. No manual intervention. Clear and easy interpretation of events. The presentation of events and their details can easily be searched and easily be analyzed. It's beneficial to all entities in your organization, whether management, auditors, and programmers. And it can be used for quick restore. That's right, because you're able to back up and save any source or object at the time of the event. At that point in time, they're online, and therefore, if there's any emergency or any need to restore a source or an object, you can quickly do that without having to fill out any forms for any other part of your organization as a request to do that, or to search through your backup medias in order to find those particular objects or sources that you need restored. It also adds to it Raz-Lee's report generator, quite a feature in the sense of being able to create your own formulation of data and how it should look in order for easy analysis of all of the events. And it complements your CMS, your change management system. But not only that, it's able to track the change management events and modifications, which should enable you to be able to analyze whether the procedures are adhered to regarding to the policies of your change management system. So what can we, in essence, conclude relating to the Change Tracker solution and the issues of application integrity? Well, Change Tracker is a simple solution that will support and confirm the integrity of your applications and therefore your business practices. This ends another presentation in a series of Raz-Lee security and auditing tips. Thank you.